What's going on, everybody? Welcome to TLP Sports Club, guys. The show that you are watching is TLP Live. I am your host, Harry B. Remember, the B means billion. There is shakeup in Colorado. We must talk about it. I'll be right back after my intro so that we could go ahead and talk about it. Here goes the intro.
BWB, bandwagon bust.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Let's go ahead and let's get right to work. That is correct. There is shakeup in Colorado. Some of you already know, some you don't know, but we're going to talk about it. We got to break it all the way down. What does it mean for the quarterbacks that are being groomed? We went through 3 quarterbacks during the last game, and Colorado, has a little bit of a conundrum or quandary. Pick your favorite adjectives, verbs, nouns, whatever you call them. Pick them. All right, but let's go ahead and get the poetry. Let's get that in motion before we go ahead and break this down, all right? Report, Deion Sanders demoted, and that's in the past tense, okay? Demoted offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur, all right? This is by Mike Florio, NBCsports.com. Salute, Matt. What up with you? As Hall of Famer Deion Sanders tries to turn around a disappointing season in Colorado, he's quickly trying something new offensively. That's very offensive. Oh, yes. Brett, what is his name? Okay, I don't know that last name. Okay, Shurmur of USA Today reports that Sanders demoted 2-time former NFL head coach Pat Shurmur after an October 25th loss to Utah by the score of 53-7. Shurmur, who had a 19-46 record in 4 years as coach of the Browns and Giants, is now the quarterback's coach. Sounds like a bad idea, but we'll break all of that down. Tight ends coach and passing game coordinator Brett Bartolone called the plays in Colorado's most recent loss, 52-17 to Arizona. So remember, 53-7 when it was Pat Shurmur. The next game was 52-17 to Arizona when Brett Bartolone was making the calls. So did we get any change? Like I said, we're going to break it all down. I'm still in my news voice, okay? During a Tuesday press conference, Sanders was asked whether he'd consider making offensive changes. Here's what he said. I might have already changed it, and you don't know, Sanders said. I don't do stuff and blow the whistles and make major announcements. Can I raise my hand on this one? We're going to break it all down. Be patient, guys. I'm still in my news voice. Sanders had promoted Shurmur to co-offensive coordinator in 2023 when the Buffaloes were 4-4. At the time, Shurmur assumed play calling duties from Sean Lewis. Colorado lost the next 4 games that year. Lewis, by the way, is now the head coach at San Diego State. I'm sure they're about to say his record. The Aztecs are currently 7-1. Ooh, I love the drama. Like I said, this is the poetry. In 2024, Colorado went 9-4 with Shurmur calling the plays. It ultimately comes down in many respects to the players. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders is gone. Two-way phenoms Travis Hunter is also gone. That has made a huge difference for Colorado. But keep in mind, this was not added. I'm adding this. But keep in mind, The Big 12 has had other players leave programs, but what seemed to be last year's bad Big 12 play has turned around to be a major, major change in the Big 12, because the Big 12 now has 3 players or 3 teams, 3 universities in the college football playoff rankings currently. So what happened to Colorado? Like I said, be patient. We're going to break it all down. The Buffaloes are currently 3-6. They play 3-6 West Virginia on Saturday in Morgantown. The Mountaineers are favored by 6.5 points. And if you remember their last Saturday game, I think that point spread is being generous in my, newscaster's voice. All right, so I think that's all the poetry has to say. Now we're going to go away from the poetry and let's go ahead and break this all down. And let me make myself bigger, all right, so that this thing can decrease and let me increase. All right, so let's break it down point by point. Before we get to that part of the live, guys, I want to make sure I let you guys know that this here show, you can become a part of it by just joining me on the panel. That's jointlplive@gmail.com. That's jointlplive@gmail.com. All right, you can call in. We can talk about this. And for those of you who have been generous to this show, you want me to get back to it full time. And for those of you who bless the show, my Cash App is right there on the screen. $TLP Sports Club right there on your screen. So I appreciate you guys supporting the show monetarily with your views by pressing the like button. So if you don't have money or you don't prefer to pay money, but you can press the like button. Also, subscribe is probably one of the biggest ones. Commenting is another one. Sharing the show, that one is kind of personal because then it's like a cosign. So I don't know if too many people like sharing stuff. They're like, I don't really like this guy. He does give me some info, but I ain't trying to co-sign all this mess. But some of y'all just love the show, like love moves. And you like, blah, blah, blah. You be sharing it like, Harry's my guy. Let's go. That African is my guy. Anyway, I appreciate you. Okay. Thank you so much. But there's so many different ways that you can support the show. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Just pick your favorite. Pick whatever makes you feel comfortable. But anyways, I want to say thank you for picking one of those options. Commenting, subscribing, sharing, monetarily, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Thank you for any option you choose. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and break it all the way down. Number one, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is they are on a skid. When Colorado goes on a skid, what happens? They don't seem to bounce back. And love moves, I love you back, girl. Oh man. When Colorado goes on a skid, they don't seem to bounce back. It's like they don't know how. Okay, so we've been asking for Pat Shurmur to get demoted here at TLP Sports Club. Pat Shurmur is, you know what I'm saying? His play calling or his playbook, whatever they installed, does not work for Colorado in this new era of college football. So it's an NFL system, all right? And the NFL system is cool, but it's stale. It's predictable. They don't have a lot of chaos built in it for pre-snap situations. And let me just break it down real quick for y'all. For those of us around here who don't understand the pre-snap part of football and why that's important. Okay, now pre-snap, I try to simplify for a lot of y'all because I know a lot of people around here that consume the product here at TLP Sports Club. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not necessarily for football. You're like the aunties, the uncles. Some of y'all know football. Some of y'all don't really care about the football too much. You're just here to support the cause. Okay, so the pre-snap chaos that needs to be created, it's like motion. Right? Because the defense can pretty much tell when you're in a specific specific position, right? Whether you're in the I formation, formation. Whether you're in the I formation, you have a I don't know all of the formations, but you have a quarterback and a tight end. They watch enough tapes to understand the formations are going to go a certain way, right? It could be associated with a play that you've already ran or a new play that you're installing, but the formations give the DC, which is the defensive coordinator, an idea of what you are about to run. Colorado is running an offense, an NFL offense, right? And for the NFL, the game is a lot simpler the way that it looks, because I'm saying the NFL is just a much simpler, but the talent is so good that sometimes they can literally give you their playbook and dare you to stop it. Okay, and you most of the time you can't stop it, right? Because the talent is just the top of the creme de la creme. Okay, so in college, however, the talent pool is not the same. Some teams have different talents, right? So if the DC, the defensive coordinator, can figure out what it is that you're doing, then they'll call a play and say, this is how we're going to stop this, because we watch their tape and we know if they run this, we know exactly what play to call to stop it, because we know how to prepare for that specific play. All right. So why do we need chaos? Why do we need motion? We need motion because sometimes if you just show them the play that you're going to run and they already know what it is, what it's going to be, the motion, it kind of disrupts whatever they're thinking. It kind of lets them know, I don't know why the wide receiver is coming this way. Maybe they're trying to trick us. We don't know. So what that does to the DBs and the line is, okay, maybe they're going to throw it over there. Maybe they're going this way. So that chaos is very important to throw off the defense and them guessing what it is that Colorado is going to do. So Colorado has looked vanilla because there is no motion. They don't create no chaos on the offensive plays. They don't disrupt anything. So they're looking vanilla out there. They're looking like, we know what you're going to do, so okay, go do it. For the most part, the players who are on this team, I don't know if they know the playbook 100%, right? So you're not going to open up your playbook all the way out. You're going to be limited to a very specific amount of plays based on the knowledge of the players, because some of these guys are coming in, right? Yesterday we had a live and people were telling me that, okay, man, look, we need 80% of freshmen or at least high school players that are going to come, and we're going to start building with those players. By their second or third year, we should be ready to rock and roll. Colorado does not have that. We have a bunch of mercenaries. These mercenary players coming from other systems, right? Whether it's the SEC, the Big Ten, or Group of 8 players are coming. They're coming from different places. And when you have those and you give them a new playbook, it's not always going to be 100% because you got to learn that playbook and you also got to do your homework. You're at Colorado and their curriculum is not an easy curriculum to learn, right? Or it's not an easy curriculum, right? This is not like, HBCU where you can take a bunch of African-American studies, you feel me? And then you go to PE when you add lunch. By the time you do all that, you got a great schedule for a college football player that has professional aspirations. But that's not here at Colorado. Colorado's, according to my guy, my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. Anyways, I forget the name, but according to the curriculum at Colorado, is adjacent like an Ivy League, right? Their curriculum is like an Ivy League. And if I remember his name, I would say it, but forgive me for forgetting his name. But it's like an Ivy League curriculum. So it's a tough curriculum. All right. So you got to study, but then you also got to study that playbook. All right. And then there are different variations of each play that you got to learn. Just think about what Shurmur is going through right now. Right? Shurmur in Cleveland is going through a lot of things right now because people are saying he can't figure out the playbook. At least that's what they're telling us. We believe something different, but that's neither here, neither there. Just keep in mind these players have to learn the playbook, and you can't really do much. But the whole idea of Shurmur's playbook, because he's the OC, I believe he would have had to bring his system to say, hey, Prime, this is what I want to run based on the talent pool that you have here at Colorado. All right, so when we're looking at Colorado, this NFL system wasn't working because college DCs, the defensive coordinators, they can figure most of this stuff out and they can stop it. They know how to prepare for this stuff. So that's what you were seeing. Okay, when they're lined up in an I formation to try to run the ball, you know the ball is about to go to the running back. So you will either blitz and try to disrupt their whatever the pre-snap situation is. They don't show you much. There is no chaos. They're not going through any type of, pre-snap chaos formation, doing stuff to confuse the defense. They just come. If it's 4 down meaning 4 linemen are down on their hands and knees and whatever, and they're getting ready. If it's a 3 down and 1 lineman is up, if it's that, they're just going to do that, and that is all. Every now and then they may throw in like some type of sweep or some type of motion, but it's not often that they do that. So Colorado is very vanilla. They're very stale. That's Pat Shurmur's playbook. All right, so that is the same playbook now that Brett Bartoloni has to work with. And then knowing the players that we have, and I'm guessing maybe the high 70s to the low 80s knowledge of the playbook. So that's all they can use. But even with that, you can be creative because each play has a variation, a schematic that you can pull out. If you are a good offensive coordinator, like if you're Brett Bartoloni, you should be able to mix things up to confuse the defense so you can be able to get positive yards. That's what this thing is all about. But Colorado can't get positive yards because the team, starting with the Utah Utes, remember how Colorado played with Georgia Tech? The first 3 games, they looked like they were a competitive team in the Big 12. Well, then everything stopped with the Utah Utes, because when you have a coach that is only focused on football, he starts to realize your patterns after 3 games. He said, well, they keep doing this thing. They keep doing it. Who are they fooling? The other teams are not taking advantage of it. But Kyle Whittingham over there at the Utah Utes with these, religious folks over there, they said, wait a minute. Somebody in their underwear on that staff that sits in their basement and just eat football, they just kept watching. It's just like a chess game. Do not move until you see it. So that guy with his big screen in his basement did not move. He's in his underwear. Chips are sitting right here. Coca-Cola on this side, if that's your drink of choice. Red Bull, whatever it is that's going to get you much caffeine so that you don't blink. Don't move until you see it. And the DC, the OC, maybe all 4 of them are in the room, right? With Kyle Whittingham, and he's there with a whip. No, that would be a cracker. You don't want that because he's white. So then that would be racist because you don't want to be a cracker. Forgive me. I kind of blinked for a second there. Remember, don't blink. It's a chess move. So they're all there, the top guys, and they're saying, tell me, let's watch this together. Show me what you see. Tell me the patterns so that we can kill these fools. And they're watching, and they're watching, and they're watching. And then all of a sudden, somebody sees something. They said, wait a minute, I picked something up. You want to hear it? Kyle Whittingham said, of course, that's why we're here. Now, all of us in our underwears, but I don't know why you're in your underwears. That's kind of weird. Because I think I started the story off with one guy in his underwear and I added 4 other guys. So now it's a little weird of a story because you ain't supposed to be in your underwears with 4 other guys sitting there with you. But it was supposed to be a one-man story. But anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. They're all watching. Let's just put the pants back on, okay? You got to put your pants back on because there's 4 of us now. So they're watching, and then finally somebody says, I see something. When this guy, this weak quarterback of theirs, when he has time, even though he's not that accurate like Shador was, he can actually make a play. He's either going to run or he can make a decent pass if it's within 15 yards. His long balls are trash. He's like a Dylan Gabriel, right? But if we rush him, we put pressure on him, mentally he don't know how to process. He's not strong. So he folds under pressure. So all we got to do is just blitz him. So that's what they did. And it worked. But somebody had the wherewithal to figure that out. That Coach Prime and his staff were repeating the same thing. Rinse and repeat the entire thing. The entire season, the first 6 games. How many games have we played so far? 9? We did the same thing. And they figured it out. They're like, oh, if we just blitz him, that fool right there called Caden Salter, he ain't strong. Mentally, he checks out of games. All we got to do is just disrupt him in the first couple of plays, and we got him. Because when the line collapses on Caden Salter, he don't know what to do. He puts his head down instead of still trying to be a man. He puts his head down and fold and says, oh, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. If you watch the live during game days, I tell you all of this in the lives during the game days when we do the game day coverage. He just folds. He don't know what to do. When the line collapses, he goes backwards like Shador used to do. But then he's not as strong as Shador to try to make a play. As soon as somebody gets close to him, he folds up and, oh, you're going to hit me? Don't hit me that hard. I'm Caden Salter. I don't know what to do if you come to hit me that hard. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. But that's what happens with Caden Salter. So once the Utah Utes did that and gave them 50, it was over. Arizona, we beat them last year. They were not that great. Noah Fafita, their quarterback, he's like 5'3". Maybe he's 4'9", 4'11", just like Dylan Gabriel. He can't see over anything. Guess what? He torched us. Torched us because our defense is grass. Total grass. I have a feeling that Robert Livingston, this is a hunch, but Robert Livingston already has a job and he's probably already out of here. So the players don't know who to play for. That's my theory. I'm not sure if it's true, but it's a hunch. So we have this problem. In mid-season, you can't teach a whole new system. You got to keep that same system. You got to keep it going. You got to call plays from that because that's what the players already know. So now you install Brett Bartolone in the Arizona game, and he looks like trash, total trash. But he is supposed to be the change that was necessary. It's like, think about this. We keep calling for Shador to go into that trash offense of this daggone Cleveland Browns, but we're not thinking about the fact that what if he comes in here and he does a Brett Bartolone, the same old, and he looks like trash. That's why I've been like, behind the scenes, I've been like, dang, Lord, I don't think I want Shador to play. I secretly want Dylan Gabriel to do well. Like after this bye week, like I want him to go there and at least throw 1 touchdown, get sacked a few times, throw a few interceptions, look bad enough, but still do good enough to let Kevin Stefanski know, who hates Shador so much, that, okay, he did all right. He did enough for me to not start Shador because I don't have no feelings for Shador. I hate him and his dad and his whole family. I don't like the breath they breathe. I wish they would stop breathing because Kevin Stefanski hates the Sanders, right? So, and I might have to leave because I got somebody coming to fix my fridge because my freezer has been, doing some weird things. But let me see if this is the call. Give me a second, guys. So that was him. He's going to be here in 25 minutes. So we got 25 minutes so I can deliver this message. All right. Peter Investor, what up with you? Hope all is well. Good morning. All right. So we know that Stefanski doesn't like Shador, so he's not going to play him. And I'm hoping that Dylan Gabriel does well enough so that we don't have to see Shador this year. I don't want Shador in that situation. That's a really bad situation. And going back to Colorado, it's a bad situation. Because you got the freshman Juju. Remember now, he's an 11th grader. He's not even the 12th grader. This kid is an 11th grader. He finished early. He never experienced the 12th grade. So here he is. We're going to put him into this system where Bert Bartoloni has to call Pat Shurmur's plays. So I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird, but okay, fine. I can deal with it because I'm not looking for Juju to save the season. I'm looking for Juju to get experience, and God forbid, my Lord, God forbid, Coach Prime keeps Brett Bertoloni on staff to beat the new OC. I hope it's an interim situation while he goes out there and go get Jimbo Fisher or somebody who knows college football better than Brett Bartoloni. I don't care what he did at JSU. I don't care. Go get one of these top head coaches if they will join your mess. Whatever mess you got over there going on at Colorado, please go grab one of those coaches, bring them in here, some real experience. That you too, Prime, who needs that experience to be infused with real college football experience from a winning head coach. Well, they're not really that winning because they won't be getting fired if they were winning coach. But I'm just saying, you don't know, you understand what I'm saying, right? From a real college football coach that can come in here, get maybe dim the lights of these bright Hall of Fame jackets. These gold jackets are too bright. But let's get some real college football experience in here. Let's look at what the Big 12 is doing. Let's look at the Big 12. That's our competition. Not the 2 or 3 out of conference games that we play, Georgia Tech, and then the Delawares, and whoever else. Let's look at the Big 12. Let an OC and a DC, I'm sure, I hope we keep Robert Livingston. We don't keep him. Let's say we get rid of both of them. Let an OC and a DC comes in, study the Big 12 play, and say, oh, I know what we need to do to beat these fools. And then come up with a playbook that actually represents how to beat these guys. Because we got bigger aspirations. We're not going to keep a bunch of guys around that are just my friends. It don't make sense. That's my monologue. Let me see if anybody else is going to come on here to help out. DC Carson Music, thank you for being so patient. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for helping me out. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How you doing?
Good. How was my intro? How did I set that? Did I do good?
Man, 100, bro. That was fire. All facts.
Good. Thank you. I needed that confirmation, that affirmation to feel good about myself. I just needed that. Thank you. I want to hear your thoughts. Unpack some of this for me. We already had a short little conversation in the back end, but give me a little bit of an unpacking for your from the mind of a soldier.
All right, so I think that we were all saying replace Shurmur, and then after the because we didn't like the play calling, and you are right, Harry. Like if you have no motion, you pretty much just give your defense time to just sit there and focus on you versus something to make them think, because you want them to if your defense is playing and they're thinking, then that gives you a step ahead. If they're playing where they're just reacting to the ball, then they're just going to be all over you. So, that's the thing, is that I think by game 6 that everybody had figured Prime out. So they're not doing anything. And then to find out and say, okay, well, we were saying replace Shurmur, but you didn't. It looked just as bad. And not only did it look bad, you went through 3 freaking QBs.
Right.
In one game. Bro, have you seen that at all this year? Unless somebody get beat.
No, unless somebody gets injured.
Right. So
These were not injury replacements. These were just bad place replacements.
So I'm trying to figure out like what is it that we're trying to do here? Because if you replace Schumer and you now have Brett Baloney calling plays, because that's what it looked like, flat out baloney, then like what is it that we plan on kind of doing here? Because what's our expectation? You're gonna replace somebody this late in the year? What are we doing? And then you have recruiting going on right at this time, and you're not looking good. So I'm trying to figure it out. But you are right. It's like you have think about this. You have in 3 years you have demoted 2 OCs.
It's JSU all over again.
Something is not good with this, and then not to mention we still got a defense that's basically see. I blame it on the CU witch personally.
The CU witch?
Yeah, was when she showed up, that's everything just changed. You seen her.
Don't do it, DC. I'm trying to keep these low subscribers I got. Yeah, please don't do that.
It's a joke.
I'm trying to keep my subscribers.
It's a joke. Basically, I was gonna say is that Coach Prime go up to her like, "Hey, I need you to get that offense off the field quick," and then they score a touchdown. He was like, "I told you I wanted them to get off the field." Well, they did, Coach. They just scored. They did.
Yo. And that was not even a dad joke. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, but I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
But, hey, Dallas is in the building, people. Get some respect to Tim Smith. Tim Smith, what it doing, homie? Hey, man, look. So, what does this mean for Juju's future? Because there's something I want to address too. The way that Coach Prime at his interview, the way that he laid this whole thing out, right? Like I keep telling y'all, the Colorado media right now is friendly media. This is not no international media when they first got there in 2023. This is like everybody has written them off. This is now all friendly media. But the way that Coach Prime is answering these questions is just reminding me of an amateur. And I'm like, dang, Coach Prime, you're going to need, like you worked in the media, but you're too emotional for this. And you're answering these questions in weird ways. This is not how head coaches are supposed to answer these questions. Even if you are an open book, even if you call it yourself, you say, I'm an open book or I'm transparent. These are not ways to answer these questions. There are better ways as a media professional and a head coach to answer these questions. When they ask you the question about, hey, you're making a change to the freshman, or you're making a change to the freshman, and whatever the question was, they said, why did you make that change? DC, what did he say?
I forget what he said. Well, why did he make that change?
Well, he said it was did he say it was obvious?
Common sense.
Common sense.
Yeah. No, bro.
Nah. We don't do that, bro. It was common sense. First of all, you still have Kaden Salter on your team, right?
Yes.
You try to motivate your guys. It's not motivating when your coach is crapping on you. And you're still possibly QB2 because you don't go from QB1 and drop all the way to QB3 or not even see no more, right? Am I making that up, or isn't that how it goes? If you demote QB1, at least he's in the building for QB2, right?
He is, absolutely.
So how do you motivate QB1 to still be thinking about his job as QB1 when you're saying it's common sense?
That doesn't bode well. And I know somebody like asked the question of like, other coach answer worse, but because it's Prime Media makes it a big deal. I'm gonna ask Show Me. Because what I've seen is Coach will get some of the, and I love Coach Prime. Now, I understand that.
We all love Coach Prime here, and we're wishing that he does well.
But bro,
but we
be
still
like,
gotta keep it. We gotta keep it all the way funky,
yeah,
homie.
because I mean, you like when you got easy questions, softball questions, like Coach Prime be fumbling easy, like if
It's
Johnny,
friendly media. What are you? These
Coach,
people are friendly people.
when you are fumbling, if Johnny has 3 Apple questions and you going, I got time today. I gotta keep receipts.
Yeah.
Make
We
me
went
invisible.
from we
Come
went
on,
from
no.
smacking tables. I keep receipts. Do you what did he say? That famous thing, do you believe now? Do you believe that? All of this to now taking your time answering hard questions, because in the beginning of the season, we were not answering those. We were throwing them back and we were being, we were we were just being combative for no reason. But
Can
now
I
it's like we're answering these questions, but we're answering them in a weird way.
can I keep it a buck? Here
Keep
go
it
the
a bug,
thing.
man. We gotta keep this a bug. I
So
only have
here's
what?
go the
How
thing.
much time I got left? Because that guy called me already. What time did he
Right.
call me? He said 25 minutes.
Right, because you don't want to have no messed up potato salad and
No,
collard
man.
cheese,
No, it's
man.
my
I
freezer,
get you.
man. Like,
Yeah, you definitely don't want to
he
have.
called me at 11:12, and he said I'll be there in 25 minutes. So
Yeah,
I
we
don't
can't
know
let the.
math. So I don't know how much time I got.
Nah, you probably got around 6, 7 minutes and stuff. But here go the thing,
All
bro.
right.
All right. So here's the thing, folks. If we're going to be honest, the offense that they're running is not for Salter's strengths. Salter could be better, but this is not the offense for his strength. Salter needs a running game that will help him out. Salter, if they basically had it where he runs first and throws second, probably would be a totally different game. What happened is that they're trying to run the CU offense, not the offense. Like I'll give you an example, Harry B. Do
Mm-hmm.
you see the difference between the offense for Bama last year and this year, where Milrow will run a lot, but Ty Simpson does not? It's a different. They're working to Ty Simpson's strengths
Mm-hmm.
versus. But last year they worked to Milroe's strength. You have to do that. So the problem is you have people coming in who all have different strengths. Like for example, when we talked about Shadur's strength was definitely when you got off, when you got out of sequence,
Mm-hmm.
he was phenomenal. And you had Travis, and basically like Travis run around and then come back for the ball. They had that. Right now, so but you now don't have it like because think about it. Staub did well first game. I think they were asking Staub to do too much. I mean, I know we have our debates about Dylan, but I think you got to start when you get a new QB in the game. You need to start them off a little and then gradually start taking those deep
Right.
shots. But
You built their confidence up, and then you open up the playbook gradually.
exactly. But what we have right now is when you have a new QB coming in, you're already down 30 points. That QB's gonna be pressing because they don't want to get set back on the bench. Now I'm not saying that Salter is just the greatest thing since sliced bread, but there were strengths that you can work and spreading out doggone George Seaton to run a receiver when you're getting your tail kicked. That don't make any sense. What are we doing? No, we got to get back. So hopefully this weekend we'll be able to tell the difference. But it's right now it ain't making no sense to me, bro. You should be having running that ball. And hey, guess what? Even if you're running that ball, you still are getting running that ball. Even if you're not making it, guess what? It gives your defense time to get a rest because your defense is sucking, and you run your odds of you could possibly get their offense off a sync if they keep sitting on the bench.
But here's another thing too, man. It's like you have to understand the personnel that you have, right? We talked about it on yesterday live. Like if you don't understand the personnel that you have, and greetings to Regin. How do you pronounce that name on the screen, DC? Regin Reggie Led?
Range led
Range Led
1977.
1977.
Hmm.
My birth age. My lord, I just told my age. My birth year. Anyway, so salute to you. But yeah, I think you have to understand the personnel, and then you're gonna have to draw up plays that can actually match them. But it's like if you bring in this is my playbook. I don't know how motivated Pat Shurmur was to become a college coach. You feel me? So did he do new research, or did he just dust off his 1967 when he was coaching college and say, all right, I mean, this should work, and then come and boom, all right, guys, let's do this? Or did he just take one of his NFL playbooks and say, we should do this because this is what I used when I was an NFL coach? Did he do any new research? Did he look at the talent? Or are they taking the new talent that's coming in and saying, okay, let's go ahead and shuffle some things up. Let's look at the Big 12 and let's make some adjustments based on Big 12 play. Or are we just bringing in a still playbook and saying, but boom, learn this and let's go play? I mean, I think the Little Giants, the movie, they were like, they were calling plays, and then if it's the Little Giants or it's another movie that I'm thinking about, they were calling plays, and then they asked, like, does anybody know how to read the playbook? It's like, no, that was like unison. They said, does anybody understand the playbook? And all of them said, no, we don't know these plays. Maybe it's a different movie. Like, no, we don't know the plays. They're like, oh, you don't know the plays? The movie with Kevin James. I don't know if it was the Little Giants. I think the Little Giants was before Kevin James. But it's like they asked the kids, hey, do y'all know these plays? Kevin James was a New Orleans coach who had just won a Super Bowl. Then he got fired. It was some mess that was going on in the movie. Anybody remember that name of that movie? Let me know. But it was like, yeah, he drew up all these great plays. And then he was like telling all the kids to run these plays. And I think his son was the quarterback, like the Coach Prime situation. And when he asked the kid, they said, no, we don't know these plays. So it's like, yo, you can't come up in here with some already drawn up plays, and it's not Big 12 friendly. Big 12 is the running, like Big 12 runs the ball. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to play Big 12 football, you got to come in here with a run scheme. You can't come in here trying to throw the ball all over the place. And that's what we had. And then we didn't have no chaos on pre-snaps.
No chaos, man. And with all that stuff. Now think about it. The game where we changed some stuff up, where we had, I forget what his name that was running, Wildcat, or they either snap it to Salter or snap it to him, and he will run it. I forget the player's name, so excuse me. But that was working, and then we went away from it.
But isn't that kind of like a Coach Prime thing? When something's working, it's always like we don't see it no more. Don't you see coaches that they lean into things that are working? And then they just come up with different variations of that thing that's working, and they keep it going. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can hear the announcers; they're like, "Oh, it's the same play, but it's a different scheme. It's a different motion." You feel me? Like, they're just gonna the first time they ran it in the first half. This is the third half, the third quarter. They ran it in the first quarter. Now, third quarter, they're running it again, but this time instead of motioning to the right, they're motioning to the left. You feel me? So it's like, on a Coach Prime team, something that's working, we go away from it.
Well,
I don't understand that.
I mean, it's 100%. I agree with you, and I don't know what to say. But at the end of the day, well, I don't know really what you can do with this. I mean, because you got this year, you're hoping to win. Next year, right now, your portal opens up in December. You don't know who's leaving. And you have 38 seniors. You don't know who's leaving, and you don't know who's going to be in the portal right now for your freshmen, because that you're going to have that recruiting day. You are now 14th out of 16th in the Big 12. The only two teams behind you is UCF and OSU.
Let's handle this business real quick before we continue, and we got to end the show around 11:40, so we got like a few more minutes left. Cool. I appreciate the super chat. This is for Clay Farmer 3062. I'm just going to say the name because at 3062, sometimes people leave those numbers that's generated. So Clay Farmer, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, when K-Salt played Oregon outside of the first drive, he played. Did we play Oregon?
No, he was at Liberty and they played Oregon.
Okay.
In the bowl game.
Okay, he played horrible, and he had a stacked squad that dominated on the FCS level. His stats last year were bad. The step up in competition is exposing him. Okay.
Well, that could be true, but I think we got to remember that's generally true, but we can never forget Shador and Travis played at the FCS level. Did they not? In the worst one of the worst conferences, though I love the SWAC, in the FCS.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what he's saying. I get what's being said. I get the point. What I'm saying is that he may not have been up to the speed of the game, that kind of stuff. But I think what the problem is, they were trying to make him Shador day one. That was a bad strategy if that was the case.
So something I thought about earlier is the fact that we're playing desperate. You know how like when you're trying to accomplish something and you just start off, you know how like if you're desperate, it never really works because the energy, for those of you who are into energies, the energy that you put out when you're desperate is not the type of energy that you need when you are in the motion of trying something new. Because when you're desperate, you make desperate decisions. I feel like Colorado is playing desperate. Coach Prime's job, as far as we know, is not on the line. So why are we playing desperate football? I understand when you first came in here, you made some, you wrote some checks that you couldn't cash at first, but at least the second year, 9-4 is okay. But we got to get back into the mode where we settle things down and we start doing things the right way. But we stayed in desperation mode. Is your job on the line? Why do we keep playing desperate? We're making desperate decisions, and those desperate decisions are getting us into trouble.
Well, I think it's because, sometimes if you are a play, like one thing I see about Coach Prime, he likes to press it. We go in, we want the dogs, we want all that kind of stuff, even though you're not going to have a team of all dogs. You can forget that. I think that what we're trying to do is make it look good versus it being something methodical. Like, for example, Harry B, would you rather have a play where it's a game where it's 3 plays and you getting touchdowns, or would you rather have 10, 12 drives that end in touchdowns?
Well, that sounds like a trick question.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
You said both of them end in touchdowns, right?
Right.
Then I want the least amount of plays.
Right, but
unless I'm trying to control the game.
There you go.
The clock.
Look at Harry B, you on fire, bro. Like I said, you like, wait a minute, hold on. I got what I'm saying, and it's nice to have it. But if I can control the clock.
If I can control the clock, then I will take the more plays so I can control this game because now I'm in their heads.
Right.
And then they start making desperate decisions.
Right. And then you get to the fourth quarter. Now what's happened? You got a defense that's worn out.
Yep.
Now you can do whatever it is that you want to do.
And the DC's been getting yelled at, and now he's making desperate decisions. And those desperate decisions, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's why you always want to have a level head when you're making decisions, especially like play decisions, business decisions. Never make any decisions when you're desperate. All right. I'm giving somebody some game out there. All right. This is $1,000 worth of game. Okay. I ain't got no $1 million. But like, if you're in business, do not make desperate decisions. Calm down, pray about it, let God lead you, and don't make no desperate decisions. I'm trying to hurry up because we got to go soon. But
that's what it says, trust the process.
Right. When you're on the field and you start making desperate decisions because you keep getting yelled at, and the kids have to now take in that energy that you have because you're desperate trying to make something happen. For the most part, some good things may come out of that, but whenever people are desperate and they're just rushing, trying to do things that miss details, and the discipline, they get flagged. They get so many things that goes wrong when you're in a desperate position.
That's right. That's why you have to make sure that you've got. Remember, you heard me say is that when stuff is having a catastrophic failure, you got to look at your philosophy, your policies, procedures, and personnels.
Right.
And that being your procedures or your processes. If all of that stuff is good and it should be working there, but I think we were looking for another Shador. We wouldn't look like a drop off when it should have been to a point. You have a better line. Run the ball.
That's right.
Period.
That's right. And then those kids are the ones that got to play the game. The defense, first of all, I like Robert Livingston. I don't know why it's not working now because I don't like to judge things based on when things don't. I don't like to just say, okay, wins and losses you're good. Well, I mean, wins you're good, losses you're bad. I don't like to make decisions based on if I win, then I'm good. If I lose, then I'm bad because you need losses to learn lessons. God usually teaches lessons when we are down. He shows you things when things are not going well so that you can understand that there is a bigger challenge coming ahead, and you need this lesser loss to be able to handle that bigger loss or that bigger situation that's coming, and you can turn that into a win because you learned the lesson down here. I didn't mean to be preaching right now, but somebody needed to hear that. And I feel like Colorado needs to hear that. And the players need to buy into Coach Prime's system. Is there a system this year that we know about? I don't know. I don't know
but they've only really been good when they've been off a schedule. Think about that. Some of the greatest plays we've seen was when Shurmur and Travis and Jimmy Horn and Wester and they made stuff happen. I mean, we saw plays where Shurmur would scramble around, they would do stuff, and the next thing we know, he's dropping a dime into Horn at the corner of the end zone.
They were locked in.
You can't coach that.
But no. There's a relationship there. They were locked in.
Now you got something different. We go into another place with that one, Eric. But I agree with you. The relationship.
Yeah.
That team had the relationship.
You got to build trust. Like my son is 10 years old, and when I come home from my job, it's getting a little later now, so we might not be able to do it. I got to put some bright lights in front of the yard so we can throw the ball. But I'm trying to help him because right now he's 10 and he's not a football-minded person, so he's still afraid of the ball. So right now we're learning to throw the ball so that he's not being afraid of the ball, because I think, that's his mindset. And I keep telling him, I said, listen, if you're going to be a wide receiver, the very first thing you have to learn how to do is to catch the ball, because that's how you build trust from the quarterback. If the quarterback cannot trust you, then you're not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to throw the ball to you. And you got to have trust. So if the quarterbacks and the receivers don't have a relationship, then how do you know who you're going to throw it to?
Right. And just the thing, if you got somebody else that can help you when you're throwing it, have them put like a boxing glove on the end of a broomstick and kind of punch at him a little bit to get him used to catching the ball under duress. It'll change his life.
That's what we're going to go. Right now, we're at the stage where I just got to keep throwing him the ball to just get used to catching it and not being afraid of it. Because now he catches like this, right? We started off like this, but now at least, it's coming at his face fast. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, Lord, I'm about to die. Like, at least now he's watching it, not closing his eyes. But it's all about trust. It's all about understanding, And I feel like Colorado's having a tough issue. Again, I don't know where Robert Livingston stands as far as if he's staying or not. It looks bad, but I feel like Robert Livingston has a good foundation based on what I saw last year. He had the talent. I feel like he has some talent this year because we played Georgia Tech. The first 3 games, we played them well. So something is there, but something broke. I can't put my hand on it. I don't know what broke. Those teams are not world beaters, but they're beaters like they were world beaters. This is not no Indiana with my man Google Me Siggy. So how in the world are they beating us and hanging 50 on us? Something broke. I don't know what broke, but I can't describe it. I cannot tell you what broke, but something broke in that locker room.
One of the things is when you look at, again, that injury list is longer than the CBS receipt. You got a lot of defensive tackles on there. So are you able to rotate your trenches in if you have that? I think that's an issue. And you're not getting the linebacker play that you normally would think. And then the other thing I've seen, man, and this is weird because I saw it on BYU, I saw it with Utah, and I saw it with Arizona, is that when one of them guys break for the run, I don't hardly see any CU plays even catching up to them. It's like literally they're getting smoked. Like that first touchdown that Arizona did, there was nobody in sight. You got it, but the year before y'all had people who had like track like speed. They will hawk you down.
No,
I mean, even at the beginning of the year.
Remember in the beginning of the season, remember the first couple of games, I kept saying Colorado has speed. So I don't think it's speed. I know Colorado has speed. But when the players are not playing motivated football, something happens. They're not like something transpires, something happened electronically, mentally. And bro, the last 2 games, before you can turn the TV on to find the right channel, because I got files and I don't even, they're in the 500s. Bruh, I'm old. So it's like, I used to remember Channel 7, Channel 2, CBS, ABC. I remember those channels. On files, it's like 546, 571. By the time I found the right channel, they had already scored on Colorado 2 games in a row. Within the first 30 seconds of the daggone TV, I couldn't find the right channel. I don't know what channel ESPN is. It's 576. I don't remember, bro. How in the world are they scoring so fast on Colorado, bro?
I ain't lying. I mean, they got speed on offense, don't get me wrong, but that defense, I mean, remember like one play, I think it was against Georgia Tech or somebody, they were able to hawk the person down from behind and get the fumble, but that disappeared. About the
Yeah.
4th game, that went away. I'm like, well, are they hurt or,
What?
people out there injured, which means
Bro,
you got a strength and conditioning program.
I'm telling you, Love Moon said something's broken in our locker room. Something transpired, man. It ain't the same, bro. It ain't, bro. Georgia Tech is ranked in the college football playoffs.
You ain't lying. Can I tell you this? Had they played, because I think they like the Flash, but I went back and kind of looked at some games from last year. And what I saw is, had they played the slower game, the patient game, instead of let's hurry up and get down the field, Colorado would have beat Kansas. I got Kansas was running on them. They would have beat Kansas and Kansas State, which gives you how many wins? 11. Bro.
No, Colorado could. Yes, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
See what I'm saying? Exactly. When I look back, I was like, wait a minute. And I went back and looked, I was like, if they had slowed the game, especially the KSU, they probably would have been in the playoffs. So my point is,
imagine Deion Sanders being in the playoffs.
Bro, so my thing is, I think we'll say with Prime, I know he likes the flash because that's where he was. Big plays, get big views. I want you to go down the field like a BYU. Take your doggone time. I want you to be methodical about it. Run, pass. You don't try to go deep with Marion Miller all the time. We don't want to be dink and dunk all the time. I will say you that I'm against dink and dunk all the time. But you at least need to get up where you at least need to do it until your DB starts cheating up, like you were talking about how they do it, and then light them up.
Bro,
I mean, once
look at your screen. Number 17 is Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech in the beginning of the season only beat Colorado by 7 points. And the reason why this is important, this is not the AP top 25. This is the college football playoffs top 25. That means you're about to be in the postseason. And this ain't no bowl game. This is the big one. You feel what I'm saying?
But when you got BYU, what is BYU? Ranked 7, 6?
BYU is number 7 on this board.
Right, and you were able to hang with them?
Right.
I'm just saying.
All of a sudden, now we get to Utah Utes and we get to Arizona. Okay, let's say Utah Utes are really that good, right? Like the Nebraska game. We get to Arizona and they hang 50 on us? No, and it's our homecoming?
Bruh.
When you get the SEC game, the bottom of the SEC, you can't even predict the game because it's a rivalry game. Georgia played Florida and they was hanging with them because it's a rivalry game. When you get your homecoming, people are playing for different reasons. They're playing for like ungodly reasons. And those usually come up, it's like 300. You take 300 men versus the Romans, whatever the competition was, 300 men and you kill all of them because you're playing and you're fighting for something different. Colorado, they hung 50 on Colorado, bro. 50 at a homecoming game. Your mama there, your cousin and them are there. Everybody don't came back to Boulder that went to other schools for grad. They all came back and said, we proud of this team, what Coach Prime is doing here. You didn't dementalize that. Whatever the words are, I can't even figure it out. You didn't put that in your freaking brain to come up with some type of ungodly energy like Samson and play your best football that day? You let somebody hang 50 on you in a homecoming game? No way. Something's broken, bro. Something's broken in that locker room, and they got to figure it out.
And here's the thing, folks are saying, well, West Virginia should be easy. I think we're forgetting that West Virginia beat the snot out of Houston, and folks forget this earlier in the year they beat Pitt, who is ranked in the college football playoff top 25. So thinking you're just gonna go in here and Juju just gonna light it up in West Virginia at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's an early game, and you had to travel to West Virginia,
Bro, I've been to West Virginia. That little bridge right there, that you cross that little tight little bridge right there. They got the best KFC. They got the not West Virginia. Not. I'm sorry, I got the wrong place. I've been to West Virginia when I was going at UNC Greensboro, bro.
mm-hmm.
West Virginia, bro. Like the town. I mean, it's almost like Nebraska, bro. It's like football. Like you don't have much. What wasn't the Beverly Hillbillies? Was that in Virginia somewhere? Was that in like where were they from? Weren't they from like one of those hippie towns?
I don't know. I think maybe Kentucky or something.
You think it was Kentucky anyway? But yeah, but West Virginia is a football town, bro. They're trying to figure it out, and when they start clicking, Rodriguez. That Spanish dude is gonna figure it out. Okay.
Rich Rod, man, listen, think about it. He left Jacksonville, had got them doing pretty good. You see, Coach Kelly is down there. Rich Rod is a good coach. That you got some good coaches in there. But I think the thing is, man, is that at the end of this year is I think they give him 2 more years, but he's got to get to a point where maybe get rid of this NFL. Put it like this: get rid of the pipeline to NFL. Well, number one, we got to get rid of that mentality because your job is to win games for Colorado, win the Big 12, and compete for the playoffs.
And the NFL thing will figure itself out. But let's just deal with this Peter investor thing right quick. Hey, Peter, I thank you for renewing your membership. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. He said there's an alleged sabotage from players fixing games for money. Have you heard that?
I hadn't heard that, but if that is, bro, that's stuff that will get Coach Prime up out of there. I hope it's not true.
I really hope. I don't know where this is coming from, but man, if this is true, Coach Prime is going to be livid. They're probably dealing with something behind the scenes. There's something going on. We can't put our fingers on it. We can't touch it. But no team that starts off the season the way that Colorado started off the season goes down like doesn't do a nosedive that quickly. It don't happen like that. People don't start hanging 50 on you when you're playing teams that are now in the college football playoff that are ranked for the college football playoff.
So check this out, Harry. Beginning of the year, Colorado projected wins was 6.5. So generally somewhere around 6-7 wins.
I thought it was 5.2 something.
No, I think it was 6.5.
It was 6?
Yeah, it was 6.5 because I remember saying, no disrespect to Colorado fans. I was like, I think I'm going to take the under because I'm not sure how you replace Shurmur and Travis. Had Shurmur and Travis been there, I would have took the over. But because you didn't, I saw some things I didn't necessarily like about Salter. I said, if I were to bet, though I don't, I would go for the under. But then, bro, I don't know if this has to do with, and if they are shaving, it can't be on points. I mean, if they are shaving, it can't be on win. It would be point shaving.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like how many points.
Dude's not making tackles that they can make, that they're supposed to make.
Yeah, and like I said, and that does, think about this. You hear about stuff. It's not so much the wins or loss. It's the point shaving that can get you. I hope that's not going on, but I hope that's not going on. I'm not going to get too deep into that one.
Yeah. I don't know if we should touch that too much. But, man, we got to get up out of here because I'm going to be getting this call from this guy real soon. So come and fix my fridge. The freezer is not freezing, and I got like hash what is it? Hash burns or hash browns. hash burns. I got some hash browns in there that's not freezing, and I gotta need them to freeze. So let's do
Bro,
final
real
thoughts.
quick, I'll tell you a story I had
Go
where I
ahead.
went and bought half a cow, bro.
A
Because
half
I
a
have a
cow?
yeah, because I have a freezer in my garage. So I went and got the cow, brought it back. I didn't realize that the circuit breaker had tripped, and everything in my freezer was stank. I'm talking about like I put a CSI body off in there, and I
Wow.
had no place to put my meat. So I was like, oh, oh. So,
Yeah. Thanks
so
for
man,
pausing that.
yeah. So I was in a bitch going, oh crap, we didn't got a
With
bunch
all
of
these
ice.
loose girls out there, there's always a place to put your meat. I had to, man. I had
Uh,
to. Oh,
but
I'm
I eventually
sorry, guys.
stuffed it. But
I'm
I
sorry,
eventually got
guys.
it back to temp because it wasn't the freezer, it was the breaker. I switched it and was able to stuff it all in there. Pause again. All right.
Let's get up out of here before we
All
mess this whole platform about to go down, dude. It ain't a family show no more. Oh God. Oh my Lord. The kids are
right, bro.
hopefully the kids are at school. They weren't off today, so hopefully they're at school and y'all are by yourself.
You,
Oh God. All right, man. Let's do final thoughts, bro.
hey, I hope they turn it around. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have the faith that it's gonna be turned around. I think you lose next couple in a row, and people will just be claiming, and Matt McChesney will be using every expletive imaginable. But he does have some points. I gotta give it to him.
So I'm just hoping that Juju is able to gain some confidence. Keep the score close. I don't know what's going on in that locker room. I believe something's going on. I just can't put my finger on it, and the Holy Spirit's not going to tell me this time. But something's going on. I got a hunch. Like you can feel the energies changed. Something changed. I don't know what broke. On the defensive side, they're not stopping nothing no more. They're not even tackling no more. But I just hope that Juju is able to gain some confidence because I'm looking forward to next year. And I think Coach Prime, you know, the last clip that I saw before I went live, he was talking about how the game is his girl. When I start hearing stuff like that, because you remember you started off coaching for your sons. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking your sons are not there no more. So where is your motivation now? So I'm like, okay, when I start hearing stuff like, hey, this is my girl, you know, I take this seriously, this is my life, then I know that your heart is still in it. And if your heart is still in it and you're still prime, I know you'll figure it out. And the difference between us and other media is the fact that we support prime. We may talk and be a little harsh on some of the things, but it's coming from a place where we still support him, but we want to make sure that we give the fans at least the right conversation, not just be glazing all the time, right? So as long as we are settled in our hearts and minds on how we look at Prime and his team, then we can come from a place where we just authentic because we know it's not hate. There's no hate for Prime, not here, but he got to figure it out, and I think he will. Hey, DC man, thank you for joining me on the live today, man. I appreciate you. And for everybody that's in the chat, I appreciate you, Tim, Peter, B More just came on. 54 million is his motivation. He won't tell y'all though. I love moves. KMS is here. There's so many of you guys that came on here. Gerard Richardson after the game. Judon, Carton Miller, Viral Authority, Adam. I already said love moves. Oh, Coach CJ came on today. Sorry, I didn't see your name earlier. All right, man. So I appreciate everybody that came into the chat. Thank you so much for joining me here on this live. I hope that Brett Bartoloni does a good job, finish off the season, but Coach Prime got to get rid of him. I hope he doesn't stay on. Right, DC? We don't want him to stay on, right?
Yeah, clean house, get somebody new and they're energetic, and I think you'll be fine. And he needs to start when he does his press conferences, come to Colorado, go Death Row Records on everybody.
Yeah, Prom needs to chill with his responses. Maybe I'll do a show where I just talk about responses because I think he needs it. He needs a publicist. Like, I know you used to work in the media, but there's a difference between you being a head coach and answering questions than when you used to ask questions trying to get somebody to get you something for the network. So he needs a publicist. He needs somebody to help him to slow down the questions. The questions are coming at him too fast, and he's too real of a person to understand that he cannot answer the questions the way that he's answering them. But, we're hoping for the best. All right, DC, and everybody that's in the chat, y'all have a great evening, man. Take care.
See you.
All right, man. Bye.